Hi traders, it's Roberto, and this is the tutorial for Friday, May 10th, and we're looking at all the end pairs. I've sent out the signals. I'm just going to briefly analyze what's going on. You notice I've lined all the end pairs up. It makes it a lot easier to trade correlated pairs. These are all pairs that move in the same direction, and if they all do move in the same direction, then that means the yen is weakening. It's strongly against all the other currencies. Now, we are heading into Friday, and typically Friday is a retracement day. We don't have a trigger yet, but we do have a color change candle. Now, the market is extremely bullish at the moment, and if we do take a counter trend trade, it would be limited to maybe 20 or 30 pips. Now the markets are completely overbought on all time frames. Ideally, the markets do tend to retrace, and I'm looking, and the way to trade the counter trend trade, it's very simple, is you wait for a candle color change like we have now on all these pairs. Notice Aussie, pound, euro, New Zealand. I've got pound yen twice here, and I'm missing one. Oh, Swiss yen. So I'll put that up later, but what we have is a color change candle, but we don't have confirmation yet. We need for price to break below the swing point of that color change candle, which is on the New Zealand dollar. It would be here. Price needs to go below 8 pips for us to be able to take a counter trend trade. Now, this is a new day, and you can tell by the perforated line. It's a 24-hour session. Yesterday, Thursday, the market on all these pairs basically, put in a daily range. So we're looking for an extension of that, but because we're coming into Friday, and Fridays are usually turnarounds, their retracement day, we're going to be cautious about adding any long positions. Technically, the market should move up at least 100 pips before it collapses, but we're going to be looking for a color change candle. Regardless, we're looking to sell if the market starts printing lower after a color change candle. And how do we trade the color change candles? Quite easy. We wait for example, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles followed by a color change candle, and there was a green candle after that, but the first color change candle was here on this New Zealand yen, and price needs to go below this color change candle at least 8 pips, and that's our trigger. So if the color change candle closed at 84.46, then we would sell at 84.38, okay, for example. Okay, on this pair, if this is a color change candle, because price, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles followed by a bearish candle, and the close of that bearish candle was 155.87, then we would sell at 155.81. Okay, now the alternative is to buy if price breaks above the swing high of the day. So if we look at all these pairs, here's the swing high of today coming into Tokyo, Singapore. So what we do is we draw a horizontal line on top of that swing high, and if the 1 hour candle closes above the swing high, then we would take a trade going north. Okay, so I'm going to put a horizontal line on top of each one, because the markets, obviously all these pairs are in an uptrend, and all we need to know, are we going to have a retracement because it's coming into Friday, or is the market going to penetrate the high of the Tokyo session and continue to go up? during the London session. It's still early to tell. We still have about 3 hours before the London Open. So typically the markets will take a different direction for each session. So for example, if the Tokyo session went up, then the Singapore session went down, and it did, turned around, and it's starting to head south. Now, so we have two trading strategies. We have either a break below the color change candle, and in that case we would sell, but we're not interested in staying in too long on a counter trend trade because we're obviously in an uptrend, but we don't want to miss out on a substantial retracement because it is Friday. So the way to trade that is that if it does break 8 pips below the color change candle, then we would take a trade. That's the only way we can take a counter trend trade, on a color change candle. If price breaks above the swing high of the Tokyo Singapore session, then yes, then we would go long, and then we should be able to capture almost the same amount of pips as the market went up on Thursday. Okay, so I'm only right now. I know I've sent out signals on several pairs, and for example, the euro dollar. Let me pull up the euro dollar. Okay, and it's just almost the same thing. Let me just change this chart and just remove a couple of things because I just wanted to focus on price action. This is Thursday's move down, and typically we should have a Forex Friday, which means price should go back up. And we did have a color change candle on the 1 hour chart, and it should retrace up to possibly, here's the swing high of Thursday, and this is the swing low of Thursday, and these are the retracement levels. So price will probably retrace up to 61-50% retracement level. That would be an ideal place to sell the euro dollar because we are in a downtrend, and it has broken a major trend line here. Here's the trend line. We're in a downtrend, so we are any retracement, then it should be met with some resistance up at these levels, and we'll start looking for areas to sell. Now, there's no guarantee that the markets will retrace, but if it does break the swing low of Thursday, then it should continue to go south. Okay, so if you are trading the London session, then there's a lot of volume at the beginning, the opening of the London session. So if the market takes off north, then you should enter north and take that trade, but exit before it reaches these levels. You want to exit when it reaches these fib levels, and then perhaps we'll have an opportunity to sell the euro dollar up at these areas. But this is a very typical Friday where the market was sold off on a Thursday, and it should retrace on a Friday. Okay. And again, let's go back to the yen pairs because they are very strong, and yen pairs typically don't retrace that much when they're in a strong trend. So again, if they break the high of today's high, which is, this is the Tokyo Singapore session, if it does break today's high, then we should go long. But then at the London close, or the beginning of the New York session, we may see the market turn around. We're not sure, but we'll be in the trade room. We'll be able to call that trade. Okay, that's it for the analysis. See everyone in the trade room at 8 a.m. Eastern.